welcome Thierry Coosemans.
Good evening, everybody. Yes, I am an engineer. You can see. So, just to describe you a little bit the level of jokes we have in our engineering world, I can give you a small example. I was sitting this morning at my desk, working quietly, when my neighbor, Dylan, big guy, big nose, suddenly stands up, comes to me.
Thierry, I have to go to the toilet. It is P-square time.
That's the level, okay? You see what a challenge I have. Engineers, smart, organized, but so boring. We are the Germans of the academics. Yeah. So yeah, we actually, as the MC said, work on electric vehicles and hybrid vehicles. Let me explain you a little bit what electric vehicles are. You all know the classical combustion-based engine car, the classical car. So if you change the combustion engine with an electric motor, you change a petrol tank with a battery, you change a driver with a hipster, you get an electric car. And if you mix both kinds of car, classical and electric, and you don't fucking understand how it works, you call it a hybrid. It's a hybrid. Fine. By the way, I'm a bit of a hybrid myself. Yeah. No, not a hybrid between a whale and a human being. My grandmother never had anything with a whale, as far as we know. Although, I have to tell this. This summer I was in... this summer I was on holidays in California, LA, of all places. And I was laying on the beach in my sexy swimming gear, next to the waterline, contemplating the sun, when suddenly a bunch of those noisy American kids come pushing me. Push him back in the water! He's gonna die! He's gonna die! So yeah, but I mean another kind of hybrid. Actually, besides an engineer, I am also a professor, right? But I'm not a real professor. I'm only a 10% professor. They call it 10% zelfstandig academisch personeel. ZAP. So, yeah, when I first got my contract, I thought, 10%, what body part is actually a professor? My elbow? Yes. My belly? Could be 50%. So, Dr. Coosemans, yes, Rector. We would like to hire your left foot as a professor. Well done, left foot! But anyway, then I realized, of course, I am 10% of my time a professor. Huh? So I decided, 10%, every other Tuesday I'm a professor. It's funny because in my office behind Big Nose, we have Kinky Kimberly. Small girl, funny, big mouth, but sweet, right? And every Tuesday she comes to me and, hi Thierry, it is your professor day today. What do you do? Well, Kimberly, I do exactly the same thing as yesterday. But today you call me professor. Now get my coffee. Oh, that's it. So yeah, if I'm a 10% professor, what do I do? The other 90%? No idea. The other 90%, I am what they call PAP. Bijzonder academisch personeel. For the people who don't understand Dutch, bijzonder means special. I'm special. So the MC should have announced me, here he is, 10% professor, 90% special, the Jose Mourinho of the electric car, Thierry Coosemans. But she did it. So yeah, that happens. Anyway, so even if I'm only 10% professor, I still dare to say I am probably the best professor of the VUB.
Yeah.
Maybe of Flanders. For sure of the KUL. No, I'm not bragging. No. So, you see a lot of young people. Well, let me explain you. Nowadays, a professor, a good professor, great professor, knows a lot of things about a very small domain of expertise, right? Like an atom, or a Higgs particle, or the psychology of an amoeba, something like that. Right? It's a very small domain. It wasn't always like that before. Time of the ancient Greeks, you had the Homo universalis. Those guys did everything. Like Aristotle, for instance. When he was teaching Sunday afternoon on his rock, his students would ask, "Oh, great Aristoteles, tell us everything about everything." Well, the gods live on the Olympus. The people live in the plain. And the earth is flat. Now bring me some young boys. Greeks. That's what they did. Yeah. And then it stayed like that for ages. I mean, until even the great Italian scientists from the Renaissance, Fibonacci, Galileo Galilei, Leonardo DiCaprio, all these guys. Leonardo was great. He was a painter, musician, engineer, and he liked young boys. Hey, this is true. Anyway, and then it kind of changed. With the Industrial Revolution, all scientists started to focus to small domains and get bigger knowledge about the small domain. And in that time, great scientists had no talent for something else than what their little domain was. And they take, for instance, the great Niels Bohr. I don't know if you know him. Niels Bohr, physicist. You would think, he must be a handyman. 2 left hands, couldn't change a bulb. Marie Curie, lousy cook. Very well. And at that moment, the greatest mind ever, Albert Einstein, right? The king of relativity, the MC square of science, declared, the more you know, you realize the more you know, you don't know anything. So, because there's so much to learn. So putting 1 and 1 together means that a great professor actually doesn't know shit about nothing. I'm your man for that. Exactly. So yeah, we study electric vehicles. We mainly study actually the battery. Battery are the key component that's still not working very well in a car, right? And I discovered something. Batteries are actually very much like human beings. Really, even stronger. They're very much like women. Yeah, they work the best at 25C. They're full of complex physical, chemical things going on. And by definition, they're bipolar. So yeah, we stupid male engineers, we try to model this. Bound to fail. Professor. Yes, Kimberly? How about your new batteries? Crappy, Kimberly, like always. But I modeled a woman. Where's that Nobel Prize? Well, ladies, don't be upset, right? batteries also have male properties. If you touch a battery at the right spot, it's discharged in a second. Have a nice evening.